Hello and welcome to part 3 of our Swoon Ethel Tote sew along. I can't believe how awesome this has been going and how awesome it looks. Today we're just going to be finishing up our bag. We're going to be attaching the liner to the main or the exterior. We're going to be adding our handles and we'll be done. I can't believe how nervous I was about this and how well it's gone so far. So hopefully it continues to go well and I don't jinx myself. But even with the foam, it was so much better than I thought it would be. Like, I thought for sure this was going to be a super tricky thing that I was not going to be super excited about. But it's worked really well. Every time I hold this up, the lighting on my camera changes. So anyways, the foam makes the bag stand up so awesome. It gives it such a great structure, and I'm glad that I went with it. I know some people in the Facebook group are trying some different techniques, and I can't wait to see how those turn out as well, because while the foam wasn't bad to work with, it just was bulky for my machine. So I think I'll be really interested and excited to hear how some of the other techniques worked out. Anyways, let's jump into it. The first thing we're going to be doing is attaching our handles to our bag. So with the exterior of the bag wrong side out, we're going to tuck the handle inside the bag. Okay, so we're going to tuck the handle inside the bag, and then match the raw edge of one end of the handle with the top raw edge of an exterior main panel along the side panel seam. Pin in place. Okay. And then we're going to hem that, or we're going to baste that together. Should base at the end of the handle to the exterior 1/4 inch seam allowance. Repeat to baste the other end. Okay, so before I baste these, so what I did is I just lined them up with that side seam there, raw edges. I just want to make sure that my handle's not going to be twisted funny. So yeah, I think that'll be perfect. I noticed a little bit of my top stitching missed that 8-inch seam allowance is tricky. So I'm just going to top stitch that little bit that I missed. Okay, loop my handle back in, making sure it's not twisted. Okay, just check it one more time. That should be nice. Okay, now we are going to baste the top of the handle to the exterior. So we've got our handles right sides together. This is going to be tricky because this bag is a beast. All right, just 1/4 inch seam allowance here. Okay, and the same thing to our other one. What I'm doing is I'm actually kind of folding the side of the bag down so that it's not in the way and I can get right up to that side seam. Alright, so baste at those in at a 1/4 inch. That looks nice. Nice straight handle, not all twisted. Okay, and we need to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so let's line those up with the side seam there. Okay, just lift it up to make sure it's not all twisted up. I like how at the bottom of the instructions, after it already tells you to sew it, it's like, make sure the handle isn't twisted. Like, I think putting that a little higher up in the instructions would be nice, but that's okay. We knew what to do. All right, we're gonna put hold the side of that bag down, the side bag a little bit, the side of the bag down a little bit, and a 1/4 inch seam allowance just to base that handle on there. Okay, same thing, the other one now. All right. Look at that. Eek, so nice. I'm excited. All right, we're going to tuck these back in. Okay, next we need to just finish the bag. So with the lining wrong side out, sorry. I'm from the Midwest, we say that wrong sometimes. And the exterior right side out. So let's go ahead and turn our exterior. Oh, it's stiff. It's stiff and bulky, and that's why I'm nervous about pulling it through that seam opening, because I'm like, this is not going to want to get pulled through anything. Look at it. Ah, how cute is that? Oh my goodness. I can't believe it, y'all. I just can't believe it. I think I would have preferred if we had top stitched the sides here. I think that probably would have made it look a little sharper, but maybe when we add the lining it'll be different. But look at this, I can't believe it. Ah, it's so cute. All right, so with the exterior out, we need to place the exterior inside the lining. Okay, I'm going to put my handles, or my pockets, I think I'm going to put on opposite sides of the bag. So it doesn't really tell you, I don't think, what to do with them, so just preference, whatever you would like to do. We need to make sure we tuck our handles in between the exterior and the lining, because we want to make sure that those get caught up in the interior of the bag. All right, so now we've put the exterior of the bag into the interior of our bag here. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This looks awesome. Okay, and we need to now just kind of match up the side seams and the raw edges. We're going to pin along the top here, matching up our side seams and the raw edges. Because the lining, we did the 1/4 inch seam allowance at the bottom instead of the 1/2 inch seam allowance, we're going to have to just kind of make sure we get the raw edges really nice and lined up and pinned, because the bottom of our bag is going to want to be a little bit shorter, or the lining of our bag is going to want to be a little bit shorter than the exterior. So just making sure we line up those raw edges. That our handles are nice and tucked in there. Again, I really recommend basting with this, because when we go to sew this, I'm hoping my machine doesn't throw a giant fit. There are so many layers here, especially with this foam, that we don't want to accidentally miss our handles. So make sure that those are nice and basted in. You didn't miss them. All right, now what we need to do is we just need to, let's see, sew at a 1/2 inch seam allowance along the entire opening. When you reach the ends of the handles, backstitch and stitch again over them for reinforcement. So I'm going to start kind of in the middle here. We're going to sew to our first handle, just past it to the side seam. We're going to backstitch all the way over past the handle, and then go right back over it again, all the way around the side seam, go over the handle, backstitch, back over it, and then the same with the other side here. And it's a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Just trying to make sure it lays nice and flat the whole time we go. Which with this foam is should be. All right, now I'm at the first handle. I'm going to go ahead and back stitch over that. It's just to reinforce, because that handle, the heavier your bag is, the more weight that handle is going to have to hold. So you want to make sure it's nice and reinforced and not going to go anywhere. So, all right, sorry again for the camera here. I know you're seeing just a lot of white, but okay. We're going to go over our next handle. We're going to back stitch all the way back to that side seam. Make sure we get the entire handle. Okay, back over it. Still doing that 1/2 inch seam allowance. To our next handle. I'm going to go ahead and back stitch over this next handle here. Is a beast, but my machine is like doing so good. I'm really shocked. Okay. I'm gonna go just past a little bit, because I lost my 1/2 inch seam allowance there for a second at the beginning. So, all right. So now what I'm going to do is I just want to make sure that I hit that both of the fabrics, with the lining and the exterior. Because the foam is so bulky, it kind of moves on my machine more than I'd like. So I just want to make sure that I got both of them when I sewed. And we did. Now trim the seam allowance down to about 1/8 inch, except along the ends of the handle. Pull the bag right side out. I'm not going to do that. I am so worried I'm going to cut my stitches if I do that. So I'm not going to trim it. It'll be okay. It'll just be a little bit bulkier there. All right. Pull the bag right side out through the 6 inch opening in the lining. So here's my opening in my lining. And let's hope I can get the bag through it, because this is a beast. Oh, I ripped it a little bit more. That's okay. All right, so now we've got our bag and our lining. Fold the raw edges into the opening 1/2 inch, press, then pin close, top stitch. Okay, so what we need to do now is that opening that we had, we need to fold it in the raw edges 1/2 inch so that they're nice and closed. And then we're just going to go ahead and sew that shut. I'm going to do some back stitching, because if there's any little opening, crumbs will find a way in my house. I don't usually carry like a purse or anything, because every time I do, my kids think it's like a trash bag. And they're like, Mom, can you hold on to this wrapper? And they put the wrapper in my bag, and it turns out like there's still half a bag of cheese crackers in there. Oof. All right. Oops. Now we need to tuck the lining inside the bag. For a second I got nervous. I was like, oh no, it's gonna be wrong. But we did it. Tuck the lining inside the bag and press the entire bag well, especially along the top opening. Top stitch the top opening. Y'all, no way. I can't believe it. We did it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to top stitch along the opening. And that's going to try and help prevent the lining of the bag from doing what it's doing now and pulling out. So just trimming up some. So you probably want to press it. I did end up unplugging my iron, so I'm not going to do that. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to a 1/4 inch from the, I can't believe this. I honestly cannot. I'm shook. A 1/4 inch from the top here. We're just going to sew along, making sure our handles are flipped up so that we don't sew them down on accident. I'm just going to top stitch the lining so it doesn't try and come out. I'm going to have a little bit kind of peeking through, not much, but just a little bit on the edge so you can see that there's a cute lining in there too. I'm just flabbergasted that this actually worked and is looking awesome. Oh my goodness. I will say, top stitching this isn't the easiest. That's why my machine's been making some noises. I love this poplin. I absolutely love it. Please don't break my needle. Oh, yep. Yeah, I know. You're not happy with me. It hit a bulky spot. And I meant to stop. I'm not used to using my handle, or my foot pedal. For a second I was worried my needle broke, but nope. I'm just going to back stitch. And y'all, just like that, we have got an awesome tote bag. Oh my word almighty. If you're still not happy, the lining does still kind of want to bulk up, I guess. If you want, you can go through and top stitch along these edges here on both sides, and I think that would help with keeping the lining nice and flat in there. But y'all, I am shocked. I am so shocked. Look at, we made a bag. Let me see if I turn this off, if that helps. No, it's the other light. Okay. It's night work light. There we go. Look. Oh my word. It's got pockets. I do, I want to put a magnetic closure in there just to help keep it closed. But I think this is gonna make like a perfect little day, like just perfect little diaper bag for if we're just running out of the house for a quick errand or something. But even just like a person, I cannot believe it. It looks so fantastic. This is like my first formed bag. And it looks awesome. And it's functional. It's got some pockets. Wow. I cannot wait to see y'all's makes because I am just floored. Absolutely floored at how crazy awesome this is. Y'all, like, all right, kids, let's go. I am so excited and I cannot wait to see yours. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with for hanging out with me the past few days and sewing this up. We will be taking a poll next week for our next pattern. So definitely keep an eye on our Facebook group so you can be part of that decision making and helping us choose our next. Oh, I'm so shocked. Our next pattern. I just can't believe how awesome this turned out. Okay. Anyways, I'm just going to sit here and just like ogle over this bag if I don't go. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to turn this off again so that you can actually see it. This was actually a really fun, easy, let me see. This lighting is, let's see if that helps. Awesome. So, and I just really want to thank y'all for hanging out with me and getting it done. Look at that. Here's the inside. The pockets. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think having a little magnetic closure here. I used to have an extra one from the Ellie and Mac tote bag so that we did for the Christmas so long. But I cannot for the life of me find it. And I know that once I buy a new one, I'm going to instantly find that one. And I'm going to be like, oh, way to go. But I can definitely see this being in my future again, sewing this up again, because it's such a fun sew. And it doesn't take forever. Super quick, super cute bag, sturdy, stable. I think I'm going to do it again, but try making it bigger, because I think this would be an awesome, pardon me, cute diaper bag. So I am floored, absolutely floored. I could spend another 30 minutes telling you how awesome it is and how excited I am, but I'm going to let you go. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me, for joining me on this so long. It has been such a great fun, and I appreciate it. And I cannot wait to see you again next month. Bye.